The Attorney General, Richard Hermer, has called for Nigel Farage to apologise after he was accused of racist and anti-Semitic behaviour during his school years.
Yes, Peter Ettedgui alleges Farage abused him when they were classmates in the 70s with racist and anti-Semitic abuse. Something Jean-Pierre claims to have witnessed, was at school at the same time. The Reform UK leader suggested the allegations carry a strong political element. He says the stories from 50 years ago are not true. So let's talk to Peter and Jean-Pierre. Now, we need to warn viewers that we will be discussing racist and offensive language throughout this interview. Very good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Peter, what did Nigel Farage say to you when you were both at Dulwich College together?
Well, he regularly would come up to me and say, Hitler was right. And he'd also come up to me and he'd go, gas them.
Are you Jewish?
Yes, I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish, yeah.
So he was specifically, you say, targeting you because you are Jewish with the most hurtful comments that someone can say to a Jew.
My German Jewish grandparents had escaped Nazi Germany in '37. So I kind of grew up knowing about the Holocaust and everything that happened. So this, you know, it was the first time I'd ever been targeted for anti-Semitic abuse in my life. I have to say it was also the last time. I've never remotely had anyone say anything like that to me.
How old were you at the time?
I was between the ages of 13 and 14. And I should add, that's why, because it was a long time ago and we were very young, when I was first approached to talk about this, back in 2013, I felt that it was an unfair thing to do. And it was only after Farage began denying it that I kind of thought, well, I've got to say something because there's no way that he couldn't remember or that there was no way that was lying about it or misremembering anything. And then it turned out that so many other people, and the other thing is I was really worried that it would be one person's word against another, but what has come up, particularly in the more recent reporting, is that there's a large number of people who not only corroborate my experience, but add their own experience.
Nigel Farage has at times said this is untrue, at other times said playground banter, said it was a long time ago, that there was no intent to cause harm. We'll just play to you Nigel Farage responding to these allegations. This is UK Reform leader Nigel Farage.
The question is, did you ever racially abuse fellow pupils in school? No. You've caveated it with a hurtful way.
Not with intent.
What do you mean not with intent? I don't understand what you mean by not with intent. What does that mean?
You wouldn't do.
But what does that mean?
No.
No what?
No. I have never directly really tried to go and hurt anybody.
You're opening the door there to perhaps you did it without meaning to offend.
Have I said things 50 years ago that you could interpret as being banter in a playground, that you could interpret in the modern light of day in some sort of way? Yes. But isn't it funny?
OK, so you did say stuff to these people then?
I've never directly racially abused anybody, no.
He's never directly racially abused anybody?
Well,
it's just not true. I mean, I've witnessed it as well. Peter, we were good friends at school. He's even sleepover at our house in the past, and I've heard it live. And I've always thought, well, that's strange. Why would you have such a view?
So, Jean-Pierre, you weren't the target, you say, of Nigel Farage's comments, but you witnessed them.
Yes.
Against Peter, any others?
Yeah, I mean, anybody who wasn't white would likely have a comment, and that's for many years. You know, we're talking 13, 14, all the way up to senior school.
So what else did you witness?
Anybody who was not white, would he go up to and go useless or send them home, or Edward, what's his name, Mosley, he used to say those sort of things, draw NF all over his school books with pride, and that's what he used to do. That was, you know, and it was just like odd. I mean, I came over from Belgium at the time as 10-year-old. My father was in the military, and mother from Germany, so I had no direct conflicts with Nigel, but it was odd to come to this big school in London and have such an obvious thing.
Playground banter. We all grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. I mean, it was harsher back then. Yeah. People said things, there were jokes on television, things about disability, which you absolutely wouldn't say now.
Correct, yeah.
But the Nazis were right and the hissing of the gas chamber.
Yeah.
I mean,
when you think about it, it's crazy. I mean, I used to get called, because I'm from Germany, half of me is the K word. But, you know, you say things you couldn't imagine saying now, and that's the point. I think those things, when you look online, are starting to come out again, and I think that's the dangerous thing.
Peter, was this a one-off?
No. I mean...
How often would you be targeted?
We were in the same class. I think we were practically neighbouring desks because we were seated in alphabetical order. This was absolute... Whenever he saw me, it was almost like a kind of gut reflex when he saw me. I was very struck by an interview that a classmate gave to The Guardian the other day, in which he said, I don't understand how Peter just took it, why he didn't react. And I think I just learned to throw a kind of protective cloak over myself and ignore him. And I kind of found my own tribe at school, and it wasn't all bad. So I kind of like got on with my life apart from Farage. But, you know, that experience marked me. And, you know, anti-Semitism is often called the oldest hatred. And when I think of the oldest hatred, it's Nigel Farage's face that I absolutely see in front of me. I mean, I'd like to just pick up on this thing of, yes, it was the 70s. It was a different time. You're absolutely right. But, and, you know, words like, I don't know if I want to even say them on air, but the K word, the Y word for Jews, the P word, those were being thrown around. But I think Nigel Farage was of a completely different order. The regularity, the intention with which he did this to so many pupils of different races.
The singing of the song, you know, that horrendous...
The singing of which song?
The Gas Them All thing. He used to regularly sing that at school, and it's horrendous. I don't want to say it in breakfast television.
Did you have a kind of rules about the assemblies you attended? Did the Jewish pupils go to Christian assembly in school?
There was a choice. So I would actually go because my friends, my main friends were not necessarily Jewish. So I didn't go to Jewish assembly. Another story has come out last week, I think, about another Jewish pupil, younger than me, who remembers Farage and his pals waiting outside Jewish assembly to taunt and bait the kids coming out.
Nigel Farage says that he didn't say any of these things with intent, but standing outside the Jewish assembly to say things about the Nazis feels like it has some intent.
A great deal of intent, and I think it's also
regular.
Yeah, and the targeting of other students of ethnic minorities waiting at the school gates. Again, this is I'm regurgitating reporting that's been done elsewhere.
We should put to you what Nigel Farage said to us last night, because we were in contact responding to the allegations. Reform UK leader Nigel Farage said, "I can categorically say that the stories being told about me from 50 years ago are not true." So he is saying that the stories the two of you are saying to us today are not true.
I mean, 50 years ago, he was 11. I mean, my maths isn't that good, but I know that isn't 50 years ago. So I think you've got to look at that as yes, it's 48 years, but also when he's 14, 15, 16, 17, when the issue of the prefect nomination came up, all the way up to 18. I mean, it's not just 50 years ago. I think.
And he says that the two of you are politically motivated.
I don't have any political affiliations at all.
And neither do I. And, you know, I suppose if you really sort of dug deep down with me, I would say, yes, there's not a political, but a deeply personal motivation, which is I do not want to see a school bully become my prime minister. And I think that probably goes for all 20-plus people who've spoken out about his behaviour at school.
Peter, Jean-Pierre, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning.
No problem at all.